So I have a goal for you, and my goal for you is to buy a rental property in the next 12 months. Now that sounds like a big goal for some of you, but it's really not. Not as long as we create the goal and then we take action around the goal. So you see, we don't do what we don't prioritize, right? If you want to make it a priority to buy a rental, you will buy a rental. Now, why would you want to buy a rental? Well, I was told years ago by one of my mentors, he said, Jim, you know the easiest way to make $1 million in real estate and the hardest way to make $1 million in real estate? I said, no, I don't. Tell me. He said, well, the hardest way to make $1 million in real estate is selling it. The easiest way to make $1 million is owning it. Never forgot those words. Now that doesn't mean that I quit my day job and I try to become a flipper. It doesn't mean I'm chasing some, unrealistic get rich quick kind of scheme. What it means is that I understand the most powerful investment on earth I can make as a realtor is to invest in my retirement by buying rental properties every single year. And that's exactly what I've done throughout my 30 years in this business as I bought rental properties throughout my career. What happens with those purchases is it creates stability and it creates financial independence so that my business isn't directed or impacted by one individual sale. It's not directed or impacted by really anything that happens to me on a daily basis because I have financial security over there. Imagine the freedom and the confidence that you would have if your daily performance wasn't tied to you making, your rent or making your mortgage or making your car payment. That is so freeing, and it actually helps you to completely go to a different level in your business and your life. You will be in a different place if you start right now making a commitment to yourself, your family, and your kids and your grandkids to start buying rental real estate today. Now, I'm going to give you an acronym to start making this happen right now. It's an easy thing to do. It's not hard because you are being surrounded by real estate all the time. We're looking at real estate every single day. I don't have to buy 10 properties. I only have to buy one investment a year. And people ask me, are you still buying today? Absolutely, I'm still buying today. I wrote an offer last week. I'm buying property in this market at these prices. You know why? Interest rates are at 60-year lows. It's still a great time to buy real estate. So here's my acronym for you that I want you to write down. It's the FIRST strategy. And here's what it stands for. The F part of this is first, I invest in myself. And that means that I'm going to set aside a little piece of my commission checks to buy my rental property. Now, if I know in my market that it's a $200,000, price point, then if I'm buying a rental property and I have to use an investor style loan, a non-owner occupied loan, it's a 25% down. That's $50,000. So I need to understand how much out of every check I need to be putting away or how many extra closings a year I need to be doing, right? Maybe that's 3 or 4 or 5 extra closings in order for me to hit my goals. That's a part of my goal set now. That's my commitment to myself and my family is to make that happen, right? Now there's other ways to do it though. I could take the house I'm living in now if I own it, turn it into a rental, and then go buy another principal residence. Remember, if we're buying a principal residence, we can get that down payment all the way down to 3.5% if we're doing an FHA loan or a VA loan. We can get all the way to 100%. So there's more creative ways to do it, but if you're doing the traditional route, 25% non-owner occupied, then you're going to have to understand what that number is and start first, the F part, investing in yourself. Set that money aside and buy that rental. You did it when you bought your house. You can do it in buying your rental. Second thing you do is to identify, the I part of this, identify your ideal target property. What does it look like? Is it a duplex? Is it a fourplex? Is it a single family home? What's your ideal property? Now people often ask me, Jim, what should it be? That's for you to decide, not me, but I will tell you that it's probably not going to be anything larger than a fourplex as a first property. If you haven't invested in anything else, fourplex or smaller makes sense because those can be financed easily on the secondary market. They're more easily financed through an FHA loan, a VA loan, a conventional loan than anything above that. Once you get above that, then you get into more commercial style loans. Most people, it's easier to finance those 1 to 4plexes. The R part of that is to research the market and property managers. Worst mistake I made as a young investor buying my first property was I tried to manage myself. You know how long that lasted? 30 days. I bought the property, tried to manage myself, couldn't do it, resold the property and got out of it because I knew I couldn't manage property. What I figured out, what one of my mentors told me, one of my coaches told me is, Jim, you never manage your own properties. Why would you do that? You can make a lot more money selling real estate than managing your own property for $10 an hour or $12 an hour. Let somebody else take those toilet calls and those mouse calls and whatever else they got to deal with, dealing with evictions and late payments and all those things. they're going to do it at a much more effective level. Just like us when we're representing buyers and sellers. That's the same thing we tell for sell by owner. We're a buyer. You don't represent yourself. That's the worst mistake you can make. Same thing. We don't represent ourselves. We hire property managers to do so. So that means we're researching the market. We understand what rental prices are in the market. We understand who the best property managers are in the market. The S means we strike fast. In our current market, we have to have standard searches out there looking and searching for the kinds of properties we want to buy. And when they hit, we go out there and buy. We strike fast because we know what we're looking for. The T is to treat yourself like a buyer. And what does that mean? Don't get too emotionally involved. Make sure that it pencils out. And if you think you don't get emotional when you're buying rental properties, you're dead wrong. You're going to get more emotional in a lot of cases. There's been times when I had to force myself to walk away. But that's why we have to come in. We got to have inspections. We got to look at the rent rolls. We got to look at the numbers behind every property and make that intelligent decision of buying based on the rate of return the property is going to deliver to you. Now, if you want to go deeper into this conversation and you really want to take control of your business and really dive into rentals a little bit more in depth, we've got a great class for you that will help you to do that within the Path Performance Coaching platform. It's our investor class, and it's all about understanding how to do cap rates. We give you an Excel spreadsheet so you can understand how you go about buying properties. But more importantly than that, it actually teaches you how to go out and prospect investors and start working with investors really effectively. Wouldn't it be fun for you to work with 4, 5, 10 investors in your market and help them buy and sell property along with you buying out 1 or 2 properties a year? Think of all the things you're going to learn from them and think of how much easier your life would be if you had 5 or 10 investors in your corral, in your barn. You can do it, and we'd love to teach you how to do it. So hop over to eRealEstateCoach, check out the Path portal, get involved with the most affordable coaching platform in the country. First 14 days is free to check out. Incredible value there. Would love to explore that with you with the discovery call. Have a great day. Good selling. We'll see you next time over at eRealEstateCoach.com.